Hi, my name is Mr. Anderson, and I am mean to people on the internet. I'm always very polite about it, though. I just tend to ask difficult questions and insist on the answers. One of the people I have asked difficult questions to in the past is one Dr. Kent Hovind. And this is a segment from that interaction, or the first of those interactions. Now, in particular, this is from a portion of that debate where we're about an hour in, and I've laid a lot of the groundwork, and I'm starting to zero in on him and starting to get some really damaging admissions out of him and beat him up a little bit. Now, I'm recording 3 versions of this portion of the debate of 3 various lengths because I'm not sure how much of the setup everybody's going to want to see, so this is the sort of medium length version, and you can also look for the shorter version or for the extended director's cut, if you will, on the channel. So let me know which version strikes the right balance for you, and I hope you enjoy.
I want you to lay it on me. Ask me your question about whether I'm related to an amoeba.
I did already. The textbooks in school have these family trees. Do you believe this is accurate, that all life forms came from a single-celled creature like an amoeba? Do you believe that's an accurate representation of what we know scientifically?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. That's not a definite answer. Your Honor, make a definite answer. So, Your
But
Honor,
look,
the witness is saying he believes the evidence shows that he's related to an amoeba. Is
Right.
that accurate?
That's accurate.
Wow. Okay. So there, you got your question you wanted. Now,
All right.
where's the
Now
evidence that an amoeba?
I take it from your scoffing that that you think that answer is ridiculous. Is that fair?
It is extremely ridiculous. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you think it's ridiculous because you think that a single-celled organism and a multi-celled organism, those two things are super different, right?
That's one of many reasons why it's
Right.
ridiculous.
It's
Okay.
one of them. That's fine. One of the reasons. Another one of the reasons is because nothing brings forth other than according to its kind, right?
That's all anybody's ever observed. Yes, sir.
Right. So, for example, there are zero, nada examples of multicellular creatures that spontaneously have some portion of their anatomy suddenly turn into single cell creatures. Not one arm, not one leg, not one cell, right? What I'm asking you is if, let's say my arm suddenly collapsed into being a puddle of goo because all of the cells went back to being single-celled creatures, right? That would be an example of my arm turning into a different kind, right? You're not going to look at that puddle of goo that's just a bunch of single-celled creatures and say like, oh, that's just human, are you?
I think we would be able to recognize these cells came from a human. Like you can
Who
probably
cares
recognize
if you
that.
can recognize where they came from? I want to know what they are right now. They're a different kind, right?
No, they're single cells that came from a human.
So you're okay. Well, then why is it ridiculous for me to say that I'm related to an amoeba if you're saying that I am the same kind as a bunch of single cells?
I didn't say that. You are made up of probably several trillion single cells that are each really complex, and together they make you. And so that's, I think, amazing. And
Right.
if they went back to single cells, we would call you dead.
Right. So,
Okay.
sir, let me try and look. If evolution were correct and a human is just a colony of single-celled organisms that were somehow rounded up and given jobs, then it stands to reason that some of those cells, some of the time, ought to go on strike and just say, we don't want to be part of this human anymore. We want to do our own thing and just go back to being unicellular. But we don't see that, right?
You started off with a false definition that a human is a colony of single cells. I think it's way more complex than that. They are designed to fill their function. The lug nuts on my car are designed to hold on the wheel, you know. So I think each of the parts of your body is specially designed to make a human. But again, we don't observe this happening. And you're going backwards from human to single cell. That's disintegration.
So what?
Let's take it from a single cell to human. Where are the
No,
examples?
let's take it this way. Like I mean, what does it matter whether I'm going this way or that way? You say that I can't do it either way, right? Are you?
No.
You know,
We
let me
see,
let me
we
let
see.
me let me ask you that question then. Are you
Okay.
suggesting to me, sir, that things can change kinds as long as it involves a loss of information? So it's
No.
entirely possible for a human
I,
to go into being a bunch of single-celled organisms? Are you saying that's possible?
I'm saying a human can disintegrate into single celled. They would all, each of the cells would then die because they're designed to work together. They rely on a blood supply that something else is producing. So
Hmm.
each cell cannot live by its own. If I cut off a piece of my skin, it won't keep living.
Okay.
It'll, even though,
And if it did, it would be a different kind, right?
hmm, I don't know. I'd be cautious with that answer. It doesn't happen.
Right.
Show
I
me.
know it doesn't happen, sir. In the event that those cells did not immediately disintegrate into other atoms, but started multiplying and living on their own as single-celled creatures, in that SpongeBob world, that would count, right?
Wow. I don't know that that's worth even considering. It doesn't happen. It's not observed.
Well, sir, that's my problem. What your problem is that you have to tell me whether or not it would count.
I'd have to. I have to ask for more time to consider that. I don't think would man
Sir,
call it a
we've had
different
an
kind.
hour and 10 minutes. Come on. You've
Well,
had lots of
would
time.
would some person call it a different kind? Maybe so. Does that qualify as the biblical definition? I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. According to you, you're the expert. You're the one with the doctorate.
Okay. Let me tell you this. Would those single cells of your arm be able to reproduce?
Yeah, they're able to reproduce. In this SpongeBob example, they're able to
And
reproduce.
turn back to an arm?
No. They're not going to turn back into an arm. They're going to continue to be single-celled organisms from now on.
Yeah. So you're asking me if your arm disintegrated, would the single cells be a different kind?
Yeah.
By our definition of life forms, I guess we would say a single cell is a different life form than an arm on a human being.
So you're
If a
telling
single
me, and
cell-
I just want to nail this down. You're telling me that if cells in my body decided they're not going to cooperate and be part of my body anymore, they're going to do their own thing. They're going to live as single-celled creatures. That's a different kind. Those cells are a different kind, right?
I will give that a qualified yes. To my understanding of your question, Your Honor, I think that is probably a different kind. Why are we discussing this fairy tale story?
Because cancer, sir.
Because of an
describing
answer?
cancer. No, cancer.
Oh,
We're describing
cancer?
cancer. Yes.
Oh.
So, sir, the problem is that cancer is a really good example of a multicellular creature, or a cell within a multicellular creature dropping multicellularity because of the mutation of one of 12 genes, and then going off on its own and becoming a single-celled creature. So that would be one kind turning into another kind. And if you'd
So
like
a-
to see a scientific paper that says that, I've just posted it in our little chat.
Let me understand now. You're saying a cancer cell forming in a body has lost, do you say 12 chromosomes?
No,
Did you say?
any one of 12. Any one of 12. The more it loses, the worse the cancer gets.
So if they lose one of 12 chromosomes, the cell becomes cancerous and now
Not
operates on
lose,
its own.
mutation. No, not lose, mutation. Those are the cells that are responsible for
It mutates,
cooperation.
it loses information, becomes cancerous, and now it can operate on its own.
That's right. It starts
Okay,
to operate on its own. It starts to grow without regard to the body.
And therefore, evolution is true. We need to teach all kids.
No, not evolution. Where did I say? That's not the title of the debate. That's not what I have to prove. All I have to prove, sir, is I don't have to prove creationism right. I don't have to prove evolution wrong. I should have to prove you wrong.
Hold it. You said you're on my side.
Yeah, I know, but then cancer. I just thought about that.
What happened here? Oh, that's another
Cancer,
SpongeBob story.
Yeah,
Okay.
cancer happened.
Hey, we got company.
Well, I would have to point out, for the purpose of this debate or any debate, that it would take quadrillions of changes to go from a single-cell creature to a human in all the charts that they show. and
Just
giving
12?
one. Good point. I'll do some research on, is a cancer cell able to live on its own? I'm not aware of any that are.
All right, hold it right there.
So the Bible is incorrect.
Well, I'm not saying the Bible is incorrect, sir. I'm just saying you're incorrect.
Okay. Show the family trees. You asked me to ask you condescendingly, do you believe you descended from an amoeba?
Right.
Do you?
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. I think the evidence. I think the evidence suggests that, and I think the reason it's not ridiculous is because if I can turn into a single-celled creature, the idea that a single-celled creature could turn into me is not that crazy.
Okay, but you said you're on
just
my
to put a
side.
pin in this thing, sir.
Come on
So,
now.
in the event that we could show that the single-celled creatures lived outside of the body that evolved them, then that would be better evidence. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying I'll do some research on that. I think the answer, most people would say, so far, if you take a cancer, don't they cut out cancer to save a person's life?
Sure, but they also study cancer to see if they can prevent it. And one of the things they studied was
Right. Oh,
how
yeah.
does it
So
start
when
and
they
why
cut
does
the
it
cancer
start?
out, does it keep living forever? Does it start making more cancerous tumors?
That's a really good question, sir. I'm going to send you another paper to read. And yeah, basically that's what happened.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's probably pretty much it for tonight, Donnie and Matt.